Everybody ready? All right. Extremely disappointing outcome tonight. Obviously a game that we needed to win. Needed to go out and play our best, and it didn't show up. Didn't coach good enough. Didn't play good enough. Obviously, a lot of opportunities throughout the course of that game. You wanted to start fast. Fell behind in the first quarter. Proud of the guys in the response there in the second quarter. Made a defensive play. Able to get a couple of touchdowns. But third quarter, obviously had some mistakes and fell behind and just they were able to really control the game through the end. And it's disappointed for every player. The work that's going in. The expectations of our play, and when that doesn't show up, it's infuriating. And apologize to our fan base, everybody associated with the university, and deserve better than what we just showed. And just really disappointed in the outcome and the way that we played.
Questions? Brendan?
Now that the off season is here, I think fans are going to want to know what changes are coming. Are you able to talk about what some of those could be at this point?
No, I mean it's right now just coming out of the game. Obviously, we've got to be better, and we've got to be drastically better from what we've shown. And so obviously there's a time and place for all that, and we'll get to that here soon.
Any idea why you guys couldn't slow the ball down? I mean, you had 266 yards rushing.
Yeah, I mean it's we had opportunities. A lot of missed tackles. There's times that we've got to put ourselves in better position to. Coaches, players, had a couple of alignment issues. They were able to get to the edge. And sometimes just force a one-on-one when whether we didn't trigger fast enough or just flat out just miss a play. That opens a lot of opportunity for a very talented back. We came into it saying, as a guy that you have to stop, and for him to have that kind of production, it was a complete failure.
Chris?
You spoke of a quick and immediate fix last offseason when you went into the offseason. What did you not do that didn't allow that to happen this season?
There's a lot of levels to that. I thought that we showed flashes, and I do believe in some of the areas of growth of what we showed. Some of the young players, some of the playmaking ability. We still had too much inconsistency of that throughout a program. A couple new coordinators, some new faces, and we weren't good enough in sustaining that. And we would have played really well at times. And then obviously just lacked a consistency of just playing clean, complementary football, and that's where for us, I mean the fight. I think it's been there throughout the course of the year. I think the guys have showed response. I think that they, I do believe in the young talent that we have and some of the playmakers that have emerged. But it's just the importance of execution in the moment, and and the importance of making sure that we're consistently putting our guys in the best position for what they need or what they do, and obviously what needs to be done throughout the course of the game. And all in all, we're not good enough at that. And like I said, start of the season, the way we began, some really good things. We did face some adversity, and you had some things that didn't go the way we wanted, and a lot of close games, and just those are some of those details, some of the way that we handled those situations. I mean, just absolutely have to be better. And there's some things that happen that were outside of our control and some dynamics of it, and but for what showed up tonight, that just wasn't good enough in any regards as coaches, players, any aspect of it. And so you know, we've got to develop that consistency. I do believe in, like I said, I believe in the talent, the ability. I believe in, you know, some of the things that we were able to put on display. But we've got to become a more consistent football team.
Chris?
Do you consider coordinator change, or is your preference to have continuity with the hope that, you know, there's young guys and the coordinators and it trends in the right direction?
Well, I mean, you saw flashes of improvement, you know, across the board, and then we saw some really bad, you know, some really bad moments of how we played. And, you know, obviously it wasn't good enough. I mean, we know that, but you know, like I said, just there'll be a time and place for all parts of that evaluation. But you know, I do believe we've shown growth, just you know, for what we need and how we need to be able to play, you know, as a football team. You know, it takes us all, and we got to do a better job of that. You know, especially in these moments.
Leo?
Last time you guys won a road game was here 2 years ago. I know you talked about changes and we even saw you guys take the kickoff instead of defer, but how do you try and quantify 2 years on the road and just something's not clicking for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, there's you know, each game is its own game, and you know, if you allow it to, you know, we've had our opportunities in multiple road games to finish with a win, and whether it's one play or whether, you know, you just don't play as good as you're capable of, you know, throughout a contest. I mean, you try to address, you know, areas of you know, disconnect. You try to make sure that you're presenting a lot of different scenarios, options. You know, you just have to have a team go out there and, you know, regardless of you know, what shows up there on the road. I mean, just, you know, play the play. And, you know, I think that you know, we have let that, you know, snowball, you know, on us, and you know, to go 2 years without a road win. I mean, it's you know, incredibly disappointing. But you know, you try to meet each team at where they are, and you know, with each individual, and you know, ultimately didn't do a good enough job, you know, in that year this season.
Ira?
Can you talk through the decision to go for it on 4th down on your own side of the field? Because then you don't get it and they go down.
Yeah, I mean, it's trying to extend the drive. I mean, you know, they'd had some success. So we did get the early stop, you know, coming into third quarter. You know, got to a 4th and 1. You know, felt, you know, high percentage, you know, in our mind and conversion in 4th and 1 situations this year. It's a very high percentage for us. You know, Tommy got to the edge. You know, bang play there at the sticks with, you know, a run pass option as you're sitting there, you know, in that situation, and you know, we came up short. And you know, unfortunately, they went down 3 plays, and we're able to, you know, got a couple explosive plays and, you know, scored a touchdown. But yeah, just trying to extend the drive, trying to put points on the board. You know, done at a pretty high level in those 4th and short situations, but obviously did not get it done there.
Anything else? Ira?
Just like, what's your approach? I know the game just ended, but what's going to be your approach now, like in the short term, and you coming off the season, the changes you want to make, talking to the players, like what does that look like over the next?
Yeah, I mean, we'll immediately get. You know, we'll meet tomorrow afternoon. I mean, it's gonna. You know, we're going to work, and we're going to, you know, assess, address, do everything that's necessary to go get it better and, you know, get it fixed. And we, you know, this is a championship level program, and we need to be competing for championships. And you know, I absolutely believe that there's the talent within this team, and you know, there's talent coming to this team, and that we will be, you know, going to get to add to this team that will put us in position to compete for championships. And you know, that takes every day, every moment, you know, all work, players, coaches, every aspect of our you know, football program that has to make that investment. And you know, so it starts immediate. And you know, when it comes to you know, any changes, when it comes to any of those, you know, those big picture, you know things, obviously we'll address that and do what we need to do, you know, when the moment's there. And so you know, it's not to, you know, I'm going to handle that, and you know, myself, administration, you know, players. I mean, we're going to meet this week, and you know, like I said, it we have to go to work, and we have to go and get it done, and we have to get it, have to get it better. And, I do believe in a lot of the, young talent that showed up throughout this year, and, the ability that they've shown. And, we've got to learn from the experiences that we've had, and, from the players, coaches, everybody involved. We got to take ownership of it and go get better.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.